All right, so welcome to a very belated video.
Yes.
It's been
very.
well over a month. We're here at a public place, so there'll be background noise and so on here, but we decided we were going to come out today, hell or high water, and yeah, do something nice and everything, and just come out to a public location and stuff. So yeah, it's been a while. I think the last time we did a public one was in,
Yeah, I don't know when, but it was.
was it like maybe in, not Tamworth or whatever, was it, or
We
something?
did one in Kyogo once.
Yeah, we did one in Kyogo. There was one down there somewhere.
Yeah.
Like down there somewhere. Yeah.
It's a beautiful day, even though it's been
Yeah.
very rainy.
Yeah.
But we have a beautiful view,
Yeah.
and this is one of our favorite places to
Yeah.
come for
Yeah.
coffee.
Yeah. We've come to a really nice cafe up in the mountains, and it's really, really beautiful here. And the sun is coming out gradually a little bit, but it's apparently going to rain for the next couple of days, couple of weeks even. It has been raining for the last couple of weeks. It's been so wet that we haven't been able to step outside for like 5 minutes to even take a video. I've never in my life seen this much rain. Like I've lived here half my life and I've never seen this kind of wet weather. So yeah.
Yeah, it's really been rain,
Yeah.
forest.
Yeah.
Last couple of months.
Emphasis on the rain. Yeah. And I know we say it pretty much every single video, but it's pretty much just kind of how it is. It's just the life that we've sort of chosen and everything, and it's very much like, you know, living up to its to its name. So yeah.
But we're very grateful, you know, for the life that we have, and we know that, you know, this is one of the maybe the sides that maybe is not as comfortable or as cozy all the time with the rain, and it can be pretty problematic, you know, with driving and road and everything. But we know that, you know, this is still the life that we want.
Yeah, and I mean, we've been really behind on a lot of things. I mean, essentially, like, we wanted to take a lot of trash to the dump and everything, but you can't even get the car down our driveway, and we've had to move the priority of getting the road done very, very high. So yeah, but there's still lots of renovation stuff happening. We just had the kitchen completely redone, which is amazing. It's just been a very life-changing thing to have more shelves and a lot more kitchen space, and has made, you know, your cooking a lot quicker and a lot cleaner as well, and get the space a lot more, I think, well maintained.
Yeah. It's been really awesome. Maybe we can even put a clip in here, but we have, like, Daniel came up with a really good idea of putting like shelves inside the walls.
Yeah.
So we have all of our spices and like conserves and stuff like that in the wall, and also glasses.
Yeah.
Which is super handy.
Yeah, we don't have insulation, so basically there's a space between the sort of rafters, and then you can basically make a shelf in there. So we had a friend of ours, and he's an amazing carpenter, and he just came and did it really amazingly, and you can move them and move them up and down and stuff. It was really, really cool. And then, next thing we bumped up on the priority list was the gas hot water system. We took the one that we have out to get maintained. And it's like, it was just $150 for nothing, basically, because I realized that the amount of water that provides per minute is only 10 liters, which is just not enough for a good shower. So we've got a new system, and that's the next thing we need to get installed, which was meant to happen tomorrow. Was meant to happen on Friday, but it got postponed. And then hopefully it will happen tomorrow, even though it has been so rainy, and I'm a little bit worried about the driveway being too slippery for the plumber to get down. But, you know, we'll see what happens tomorrow. He's got a four-wheel drive, and I'm pretty confident he'll be able to handle it. So
we'll see how it goes.
Yep.
And we also had a bit of an issue on the drive here that we discovered with the car.
Yeah. So we almost got here, and now there's this really nasty noise from the back of the car. I think back right area, somewhere near the wheel. I don't know if it's the diff. I don't know if something's fallen off the car. I don't know if it's just hopefully like a loose exhaust, and the exhaust is just floating and banging a bit or something. But the scary thing is it doesn't make any noise when the car is just still and you rev the car. It only makes noise when the car's wheels are moving. So it's probably something to do with the drivetrain, which is very scary. So you might miss work tomorrow. We'll see what happens, essentially.
It's part of the day.
Yeah.
But we're really sort of praying and trying to put our anxiety and fears, in the hands of God, because we can't, nothing gets better by us being anxious.
No, I mean, there's, we either believe that the Lord is on our side and He wants us to be safe, and that He will protect us and will take care of us.
Yeah.
or you believe that everything is just random in the universe and it's all chance, and that you have to do everything in your human power to solve everything. But yeah, we're just gonna drive home very carefully, and I'll take the highway back. Less corners, less madness, less bumpiness, less changing of gears every 5 seconds. And then, yeah, you'll take it out tomorrow and try and find someone who can look at it first thing, and hopefully it's something really, really deceptively simple. But yeah, we're hoping it's just something that's become dislodged from slamming a pothole really hard or whatever. And yeah, I didn't bump anything, but we do have a very rough road, so this is probably just a long time coming. So
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, we know that God allows these things to happen as well for our own good, for our learning's sake. So yeah, and it's also been a time of a lot of challenges as well. Like the past months and stuff, we haven't put up any podcasts, and it has been because we have had a lot of things that we've been we've had to deal with.
Yeah, and it's not really an excuse, but at the same time, it's just sort of that coupled with the weather, with the fact that you just can't even go outside. I've spent days and days inside just working 5 days a week. My work has been really intense. I've probably been overworking myself a little bit because I'm still on probation and everything. And then essentially the situation is that we kind of, I really have wanted this promotion for quite a while. And I recently spoke to my boss about it, and he just kind of really bluntly told me not a chance, which is, I believe, pretty unfair considering how hard I've been working, and I've been working well and truly above my range and my pay grade and everything. But I still, God willing, will get that sometime, and I've still made my expectations and my standards pretty clear. And sometimes the most important thing is knowing that the other person knows what you expect. And yeah, we'll have other chances to talk about it. And I am still on probation, so you might be thinking, like, what do you mean you want a probation? I want a promotion on probation. Well, you haven't seen the work I've been doing and how much money I've saved the company and everything. But obviously, that's not technically how promotion works. Like, it wouldn't be very sustainable if that was always how they went. But I think I made a very good case for myself and my boss. He didn't have a whole lot to say, and he told me that there's absolutely no denying the work I've done is just incredible. But yeah, the answer was still no at this point. So we'll get there in the future, and I'll chase it up. I'll follow it up when the time is right. But for now, I'll just get back to what I'm doing and just do excellent work. And God is good. Wait for the Lord to soften His heart, and wait for the Lord's timing.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and on the other hand, for me personally in my work, I was able to get a new position as well, which means that I'm going to be working a lot more in the office instead of out in the weather, which is going to be really, really nice. And I'll also be able to take on a little bit more sort of challenging work, or more sort of stimulating kind of work, which I'm really excited for. And yeah,
and she's being modest. She's at a different position, but it's a promotion. It's the 4th one. So she's overtaken my record of three in 1 year. So yeah, congratulations. Seriously, and praise God that it's it's worked out like this, and that we've been able to have so many blessings with this as well. And I'm really grateful that you'll come home a little bit less exhausted, hopefully, and a bit less emotionally and mentally drained from work and stuff. So
less physically tired.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, I think the work you've been doing is so good that it's good to get you out of the mud and out of the dirt as much as possible. You still do that a little bit, but not too much. So
yeah, but the nice thing now is that sort of the days will go by a lot faster because I'll be doing different things. It's not just weeding the whole day or like trimming plants the whole day.
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah.
And yeah,
and I mean, we've also been focusing a lot on our marriage.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of things to work through, and to be honest, like, we really haven't spent the time, I would say, really focusing on that. We've been focusing on renovations. We've been focusing on our own personal anxieties and your work and stuff, and the car, and your cars, plural even. And it's just one of those things that can really get away from you really, really quickly. You can spend a lot of time just focusing on the logistics, focusing on the upkeep, and not on each other. So yeah, and there's still been a lot of there's just been a lot of changes, really, really positive ones in our relationship in the last couple of months. And you sort of learned to stop trying to lead and stop trying to change things, and slowly, there's been a couple of sneaky little throwbacks or whatever, backslides, whatever you want to call it. So but
we've both married sinners, so
you got it.
That's the only way it can go in this kind of world, at least that we're living in.
I've worked a lot on my temper, or whatever you want to call it, and patience, I think I could say.
Definitely.
And you've worked a lot on your, I don't know whatever you want to call it. I'll let you call
I guess it's a different kind of patience, but the kind that
acceptance. I don't know.
Acceptance and just being submissive and not picking up on everything that annoys me, but instead bringing that to Christ. And actually, instead of getting upset over small things that I've previously been getting really anxious over, I've sort of brought them to God and like sort of repeated for myself in prayer, like this is not something to get anxious about. This is just, what the devil wants me to focus on. And I've actually been able to sort of, I feel like, fall in love more, like with,
same.
and also like rediscover again, like sort of why I even fell for you in the first place as well. And it's been really sort of refreshing and really, just.
It's been really fun.
Really fun.
It's been really fun too. Like, it's been really fun to just spend so much time together, and
we've been laughing a lot more together.
We've
just enjoying
a lot more lighthearted.
It's been really, really good.
It's been really, really necessary. And I mean, previously, I think one of the reasons why we had this issue, we kind of came here, we hit the ground running, and then there's just so many expectations on us from other people. We've had churches reach out to us like, why haven't you come to church? Are you coming to this thing? And then it was like, we both work 5 days a week. You finish on Friday, you're exhausted from the whole week, you're ready to have your Sabbath, and then straight away on Saturday, it's like you got to wake up early and go to home church or go to SDA or whatever it is, sort of thing. And it's just like, you go there 9 in the morning, you wake up, you got to leave at 8, you get there at 9. You end up leaving there at 3, you get home at 4, and we've spent the whole day essentially just in public around other people doing worship, which has been fantastic, but we haven't spent any of that time on ourselves or on each other, and it's just very much like a cup that's been mostly empty the whole time. And then by that point, we're pretty tired. If the enemy wants to throw anything at us, broken car or issues with something else or whatever, family stuff as well, it's just been like too much, And then previously, some weeks we were going home church on Saturday and then going to another church on Sunday, and it just felt like we weren't spending any time on each other at all. We weren't spending any time with each other. There was just stuff around the house that wasn't getting done, or when we did have the spare moment, we would spend that time getting the stuff in the house done, getting the upkeep done, but not spending it on our marriage,
It's been really sort of good for us to just, relax and let go of all of these extra expectations that we have of ourselves and of each other. And just sort of, instead of thinking that, I need to do this to be happy, kind of chill.
And we've had to set some real boundaries with other people as well. Boundaries, I want to make this really clear. Boundaries are when you still have trust. So when there's still trust and there's still respect between two people and you still feel like equals, their boundaries are there to maintain that healthy relationship. They're there to maintain that situation, the status quo, so that things don't get out of control, right? And, we had to set a couple of boundaries with some people. And that worked out really well. And those people have really respected those. And it's just allowed us to have the freedom that Christ has given us. But then some people, some members of family have not respected those boundaries at all. And in that situation, then there's consequences. When there's no longer any trust and there's no longer any respect, or maybe there was never any respect in the first place, even if one person, for instance, me, thought there was, or that there was implied respect, when you say that is not the case, there has to be consequences. And at that point, consequences are enforcing the boundaries that have been completely and totally just neglected or avoided. So we've had to do that oops, I didn't mean to do that. We've had to do that pretty seriously, and it's meant, again, protecting our relationship, because I think you've had a bit of, let's say your sort of exam, or whatever you want to call it. That's not the right word, but your mission has been to understand the kind of family that we have and how that's separate from the family you've grown up in. So,
yeah, for sure. And it's important, like when you are in a marriage, that you really need to stand together with your partner and with your spouse, and otherwise things break apart if you start like trying to
play both
take
sides.
exactly. It doesn't work. And God has designed marriage in a specific way, and we are supposed to walk together, and and then God will work on us together as a team. But if we are trying to strive in different directions, or if we're not united, then He can't guide us, because we're both, we're not unified.
Yeah, well, a house divided against itself will not stand. And the Bible also speaks a lot about when you come to Christ, and you become a born-again Christian, behold, all things are made anew, and this is about putting away the old man and the old woman and putting on the new man and the new woman. And that also means, again, I think it's Genesis 1:16 already in the Bible, right at the beginning, that a woman will leave her family and, cleave to her husband. And that's been something that I've tried for a good 4 years to sort of really kind of explain, like, the way God made this is that you have your family you grow up with, and until you get married, those parents are responsible for you. In the Bible, there is no age of accountability. So a parent is responsible for their child, you could say indefinitely, for life. But essentially, if there is an accountability, it's not an age of accountability, but it's a point of accountability, which is that when you get married, after being married, you become a new family, a brand new family, a new creation, essentially. So you leave your old family and you become a new family with your partner. And there's a reason for this, because if you always stayed with the old family, there'd be no way for a couple to have the ability to find their own path, to walk their own path, to enjoy the freedom that Christ died for, to give us, the autonomy, the freedom that God gave us from the very, very beginning, from creation. That Adam and Eve even rebelled. If we were all locked into one family, and essentially also, it just goes without saying that whatever your parents or my parents went through, and the way that they raised us, doesn't have to be and should not even be the way that we raise our own children, God willing. Especially because you're meant to improve upon your family's work, not copy it. So yeah, you might hear some rain in the background. We'll probably end this video very, very soon. But yeah, it's been great. Praise God, we've had a little bit of privacy now, and people are sort of leaving. When we got here, it was super duper duper packed. So yeah. But yeah, anything else on your mind?
Not really, no. I think that's it. But let's just say, there's a reason why God designed marriage to be in between, a husband and wife, two people. It's difficult enough to stay united, like as a two people union. So and
it's really important as a Christian to call a spade, and to really, really understand that these are boundaries. These are rules that God made. And they're not rules I made. I didn't make these rules. I didn't decide that a marriage should be like this and not like that. But it's been really necessary to really set expectations really clear for family members and say, hey, look, you know, you might have your opinions, you might have certain expectations or desires, but neither of us, not myself and not you, are going to live according to the wishes of another person, but according to the wishes of God. I mean, I use this all the time, and I say this so often. Galatians 1:10. Am I seeking the approval of man, or am I seeking the approval of God? For if I'm seeking the approval of man, I am not seeking the approval of God, and therefore I am against God.
Oh yeah, thank you.
You know, and that's the truth. I mean, it's not just about money, as that goes on to say. It's about really understanding who your master is and who you're doing anything for. You know, who you have to thank for all of that. And it's, you know, if we capitulate, you know, if we just fall over when someone with a more powerful will or a stronger will comes against us, even if they come with the Bible and they come, you know, hey, look at where it says here, you know, you need to do this, you know, at the expense of other things God has said. For instance, that let marriage be held above all, you know, let marriage be held above all, and let the marriage bed be undefiled, as that verse goes as well. You know, then essentially we're just capitulating to another man or another woman's will, you know. So it's really, really, really important to really stand firm in Christ and to hold that faith until the end. And even if that means disappointing a family member, you know, you got to live peaceably among others, but not at the cost of your own sanity. And part of the reason why I could argue that our relationship has been as good as it is because both of us have really been able to separate everybody else from our marriage and focus specifically on, hey, look, I need to serve my wife and put her first, and you need to serve me and put me first.
Yeah.
And God made it that way for a reason, because, you know, if you can't take care of me and I can't take care of you, we definitely can't take care of any kids, and we can't take care of anybody else. We can't feed any other flock members or help anyone else with anything. People need to look at us and see rock solid marriage, two people that are back to back, you know, shoulder to shoulder, you know, with each other, and not, oh, look, you know, like on a good day, I support my husband, but then, you know, if he goes against, you know, my family, or if my family go against him, I pick both sides, or I pick a side. You know, it doesn't work like that. So
Sometimes living peaceably with each other means that we need to put a bit of distance in between each other,
yeah,
even if it's just for
Well,
time.
yeah.
But, you know, that has happened as well many times in the Bible. Like, just look at Jacob and Esau, for example. Jacob had to go away from Esau for a time.
Yep.
And then, you know, years later, they were able to, you know, have a hug again and reconnect. But, you know, it's just sometimes that's the way it needs to go. It doesn't mean that you're fleeing from the problem,
Yeah.
but it just means that you're setting a healthy boundary, even for yourself. Like, you know that if you maybe stay in the situation for too long, you're not going to be able to keep the peace
yeah,
in
Yep.
your own in your own being and
Yep.
in your own behavior.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yep.
it's just
Yep. Yeah, and love is also about understanding that, you know, your expectations and your standards, right? You're allowed to have them, but they're not more important than another person's right to freedom and another person's right to their marriage, you know. And we need to understand that love covers a multitude of sins. When we say love covers a multitude of sins, you know, sometimes the most loving thing you can do is, as you said, to put distance, because you are preventing another person from overstepping boundaries that God has made, you know, and continuing in total defiance, or in sort of just, you know, how do I say, in dogma, you know, like in dogma. So yeah. So it's been a bit of a journey, and it will continue to be a bit of a journey. But yeah, thank you for joining us for 24 minutes and for giving us your time. Yeah, if you've got any comments, leave them in the comments in the description. Yeah, and we'll upload this kind of as soon as we can, and we do have some vibes videos coming as well. We've been busy, and we've been focusing on our marriage, and our marriage will always come before everything else. You know, if we don't focus on our marriage, we won't even have a channel worthy of even sharing anything. So
exactly.
yeah. All right, cool. Thank you so much. Peace. Thanks, God.